Welcome back, Wanderers, to another episode of Cleaning the Commonwealth. Today, due to popular demand, we are headed to Hangman's Alley. And to get there, we're going to have to do a little bit of running from Grey Garden, but it won't be too bad. And along the way, let me just take this opportunity to say a few things. We have to talk. I'm not breaking up, I just need to set some boundaries here. These videos, to put it bluntly, they're taking it out of me. Like I said in the beginning of the series, it's a delicate balance between fun and work, and it's crossed that threshold into becoming work. Don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying playing the game, building and cleaning the settlements, even though the big ones are a bit of a daunting challenge sometimes. What has become more daunting every week is editing any of these videos. Editing is taking me so much time, I mean like 8 hours at least during my week, to cut down all of the content, to then narrate and mix it all up, get it into somewhat of a decent state, on top of, 3 to 4 hours of game time just to record the content, to fix up the settlement and things. That's a lot. It's adding up enough to feel like work. And I don't work for free. Hell, I don't even work for cheap. No one's asking, and maybe no one cares, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about old Stu here. Despite what my recent upload schedule might have you believe, I am not unemployed or doing YouTube full-time, or some loser getting to play video games all day long. I wish. I truly do. Unfortunately, I'm a grown man with bills to pay. I'm a DevOps engineer. I'm a part-time software engineer instructor. I have a ton of hobbies and interests. Speaking of, check out my other channel where I'm uploading game dev videos every week. Check out my game on Steam. Check out my book on Amazon. Check out my upcoming comic, my website, this, that. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of things I'm trying to do. I also have a fiance to keep happy. I have friendships to maintain. I have a body that is begging me for more exercise. And, I also have like the human requirement for me to just chill out and do nothing sometimes. Unfortunately, I'm not a robot or an alien either. I really wish I was one of those too. What I'm saying is, I have to manage my time very wisely, constantly, in order to not only avoid burnout, but actually accomplish some of the dreams that I have for myself. And while I think this game series is a ton of fun, and I'm really enjoying learning about YouTube and video editing, trying out different things like new thumbnails and titles, at the end of the day, I don't want to be a full-time YouTuber. If anything, I want to be a full-time game dev or just a creator in general. YouTube is just one of the many platforms or avenues for me to get there. So I took some time off from the series last week because, frankly, everything else in my life needed the attention more. Work was stressful, holidays are coming up, this and that, won't get into it all. But during that time, I was able to reflect on what's most important to me, what I really want to be doing, and how I can balance these things better. And while I was looking over the performance of some of my last videos, I came to a pretty clear realization of what needs to happen. According to my stats, most viewers are only coming in to see the final product at the end. There are sometimes spikes for people seeing the before tour, but mostly it dips down to about 30% of viewers for a lot of the video, and then maybe 60 to 70% watching the final tour at the end. Why am I telling you all this? Why do you care about my stats? Well, if you can't tell by now, what I'm getting at is this. I think that the rest of the series is only going to be me doing a settlement tour of the before and after product of each location. I think that's going to take me significantly less time. I think it will be an easier process for me to stick to. And I don't know, maybe I can still throw in interesting behind the scenes moments as they come up, but I think my plan is no longer to follow this formula that I've set out from the beginning of the series, doing intro, travel, quest, the before tour, cleaning, building, the after tour, and then the comparison photos. It just become too much of a process for me to put these videos together. I even have to play the game in like a certain order in order to accomplish this properly. So moving forward, I think it's just going to be a lot more casual, kind of just me showing off the place before and after, talking a little bit about my process, maybe some of the things that I struggled with or why I did some of the things that I did, and then the comparison photos to end it off as usual. I'll say people really don't seem to watch the comparison photos either, so I'm kind of curious, is it just because you've already seen the tour, just don't care at that point? Should I take those out? I don't know, maybe I'll see in the new video style if they're worth keeping in. But I think this idea, I think it's a win-win, because I think it's what most people want to see, and it allows me to consistently make these videos every week like I originally set out to do. At least commit to that idea a lot easier. So let me know what you think of this idea. I'm really curious what you all think about this, if that's something that you are interested in and would enjoy, or if it's something that you're like adamantly against and you say, no, I hate that idea. I want to see the behind the scenes process. I want to see the cleaning, the building, the struggle. Let me know. If that's the case, then I guess I won't. But if it is the case, then I'm gonna have to slow down my upload process or my upload schedule to maintain that process, because it's just too much to do in 1 week. Other creators that I watch for Fallout are not doing this in 1 week. They're doing a series for just a single settlement, and that could take an upload per week or two. I think I'm biting off a little more than I can chew. So anyway, just wanted to put that all out there, let everyone know, so that we're on the same page for the next video. Alright, so while I was yapping away there, a few things happened that you probably saw. Right now you can see I'm struggling to pick up all of this trash from the ground. And the reason is, well, there's a few reasons. One, the game was a little bugged out, telling me that there was a raider nearby, and because of that, I couldn't take over the workshop the normal way. So, I had to use the mod to claim the settlement, and I think because I did that, it automatically applied the settlement extender, which means now, instead of one of the smallest settlements in the game, just fixing up some little alley street, I get to fix an entire 2 city blocks. Great! Did you guys know this was going to happen? Is that why this was the highest voted? I feel like I'm being punked by my own subscribers. This is... okay. Alright. One thing that's kind of interesting to note about these buildings over here is while it's destroyed, it has like 2 or 3 different entrances and ways you can walk around this area. But once you've deleted these plywood doors and tried to create the actual entrances that it looks like the building's asking for, none of these actually lead to anything. They're not accessible. I think I finally found that missing raider. It was preventing us from taking over the workshop. And these fellas here just kept spawning in this spot. I found that kind of interesting. Didn't realize that there was a super mutant respawn point here, but it's like every morning these two will show up in this exact spot. So Sorry to that man, but gonna have to remove the homeless trader shelter thing he has set up in the flooded subway. Just doesn't look right for the restoration. So the back side of this building was fairly easy to fix there, but the front side with these arches, for the life of me, I could not get them to go back into the same spot. And working on this wall all up and down, I was just having so many problems, so much trouble getting things to snap. Eventually figured it out, and then realized that I was putting the wrong brick style on there, so replaced it with the correct brick style, and now the building's, I guess, as good as it's gonna get. So going through this doorway, I guess I could have built this out into a little apartment complex area. Maybe I will in the future, but it looks like just a really snug and kind of hard area to build in. I wasn't sure where exactly the lines were for the buildings, where those collisions would be, so I didn't want things sticking out randomly. So I left it closed up for now, but it's something that I guess I could return to in the future if people are interested. When I broke down the door for this little building area, it looked like a perfect spot to build in. I could tell very distinctly where the walls ended for the building, and it looked like it just fit properly for the floor tiles, which I went to build right away, and we can see it does. Like, so perfectly, it almost makes me think it was supposed to be a location before. I don't know. But this will be a cool little spot. After that, I'm testing out, can I delete this garbage mesh here using the disable, which we see I cannot. It just picked up the nearest road piece and deleted that. So some of this garbage is just part of the landscape, part of the world. If it were possible at all to delete it, it would just be complete invisible blank space beneath. So there's nothing that we can do to work with some of this. We're just going to have to come up with lore-related reasons as to why the city is so dirty, which I don't think is too hard to do. So I mentioned before that these doorways don't lead to real entrances, but I at least thought that this one was leading out into an alleyway, so I thought I was going to try and build some sort of staircase up to this doorway, up to this floor. It wasn't until a little bit later, messing around with all of this, that I realized this entire alleyway is also inside of a building. So I was completely wasting my time. I just blocked everything off at the end and moved on. And I just want to briefly show you all what it's like if you try and disable some of these broken doors, windows, parts of the buildings that look all messed up. It's going to end up deleting the entire building for a lot of these, which we could leave empty. Potentially it kind of looks okay, or we could try to rebuild those now disabled or deleted buildings, but rebuilding these apartment buildings from scratch, I didn't have any interest in rebuilding entire city blocks inside of Fallout 4. Yeah. Even just messing around with the idea briefly there, you can see it did not turn out well, and it was taking a long time already. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's not worth it. One of the last things I can complain about here is that these floors do not have collision on them. These city streets don't have collision for some reason, where the chairs and tables are on top of them, I guess just floating? I don't really know, because I can't build on top of those. If I were to build, it's trying to snap to the trash landscape floor that's probably hidden underneath the city sidewalk. So that was super fun to deal with and left me either recreating the entire city streets, which again I am not going to do, or leaving the street just kind of dirty, not replacing these tables and chairs, which I wasn't the happiest with, but it is what it is. Alright, time for the main attraction. Now, I think I forgot to record the part where I built out this floorway into the apartments. I just deleted one of the doors or walls, and then it opened up into this space, and I put down some floors to see what I could build in here. Now you can see I'm putting up walls, trying to figure out what exactly this place is going to look like for real, the finished product. My idea and intent is that it's going to be like the apartment complex for settlers to live in. This will be the main hub with all the beds, bathrooms, recreation, things like that. Alright, and the last thing that I'm going to work on here is the little restaurant area that I'm creating. Just going to throw in a store restaurant from the Fallout build menu and put up some signs, make a little cafe tables, a place to sit, just a nice little hangout spot, something that looks like, I don't know, kind of like a real world restaurant. I think I could have extended this, maybe built a little staircase on the side, had it go up into more apartments, or just more floors. There's definitely more I could have done with this area, but like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm feeling burnt on some of these things, and just didn't have it in me to build all of that out. But I can always come back to all this stuff. I could do a Hangman's Alley Part 2, where I build more apartment complexes and more spaces to live, more things to do. I don't know. As much as I love making basketball courts, as you've probably seen so far, I had to get rid of that basketball hoop. We need somewhere where our settlers are growing their food. So I thought a fun idea might be to make a cozy little community garden, kind of right in the center of the alley, where they can take care of their crops and, I don't know, it's like a urban utopia dream. That's what pre-war Fallout was supposed to be like, right? Seems like my audio is a little off right here. I don't know if that's just an editor or if it'll end up this way, but I don't know what happened here. Sorry. Wrapping up though, just setting up the water, adding some turrets around the city. Instead of putting them all in bushes this time, I thought, let's put them on the rooftops. People aren't usually looking up. They still have the range to be able to defend from that far away. And I think they're mostly hidden, snug enough. Alright, fresh off the bus from the castle, here we are today touring at Hangman's Alley. And we can see there's a little bit of trash spilling out into the streets. Construction workers need to get on that. Heading upstairs, we can see a nice little bar area, but we must be early coming in, so it doesn't look like anyone's here or even working yet. And heading into Hangman's Alley, we can see a connection up into the apartment lobby here, connecting to the main street and over to the bridge. Coming back around though, through the alley, we see our settlers are hard at work at their little community garden in the center. Walking around some more, we see there's still quite a lot of trash on these streets. The pollution in the city has just gotten out of hand. Someone really needs to do something about this. I have my own little hideaway behind this door where I can manage the population and get some rest without being bothered by anyone else. And then we can head up the street going towards the subway, and there is the tunnel underground here as well, but it looks like it's under construction too, so we'll just keep on moving. Making our way back into the alley one final time to look at the main attraction, which is our luxury condos behind this door, hidden in plain sight. We have a lovely full kitchen, laundry area. Upstairs has some beds and recreation, as well as a full bathroom. And the third floor has some more recreation and some more beds. And just look at that view. Alright, ending our tour off, let's go ahead and check this out in the evening, as it looks really nice as the sun sets.
Farming's as honest work is.
Well, we have some settlers over at the drink cart here.
Hey, easy living. This ain't.
Doesn't seem like that hard of a life to me. Okay, one last time, let's look at this place at night. And as usual, I just want to show off that the city looks nice, the settlement looks nice at night. It's a safe place to be, very well lit up. You can see where you're going as you walk around. And I can't wait until we get more of this city built out. I'll have light posts everywhere. It'll really look like a real city at some point. Alright, that's it for Hangman's Alley. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate the support, all the comments, feedback, the likes and subscribes, of course. Looking forward to doing the next video. For those that weren't listening at the beginning, just a heads up again, I'm probably going to start doing only the settlement tours. So more likely going to be shorter videos in the future, just me chatting and showing off the final build. Really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.